never thought the man I planned to spend the rest of my life with would end our engagement with a single text message. But that's exactly what happened, and it shattered everything I believed about love. Hey, I'm just a regular girl who thought she had found her forever. My fiance and I had been together for almost 3 years. We met at a quiet coffee shop downtown on a rainy afternoon. He smiled at me across the counter, offered to share his umbrella, and from that moment, everything felt like a movie. We laughed for hours that first day. Dates turned into weekends away, late night talks, and promises that this was it. 6 months before the lawyer text, he got down on one knee at our favorite beach at sunset. The rings sparkled, the waves whispered, and I cried happy tears while saying yes. Our families were over the moon. My mom started planning the wedding colors with me. His parents called me their daughter. We booked the venue, chose the flowers, tasted cakes, and spent evenings dreaming about our first house and the kids we'd raise. I felt so safe, so loved. Every morning I woke up thinking, this is my person. But little cracks started showing. He worked later and later. His phone stayed face down. Our conversations grew short and distracted. I told myself it was just wedding stress. He's tired, I'd whisper while folding his laundry. We're almost there. I ignored the way he flinched when I asked about his day. I pushed down the quiet voice in my heart that said something was wrong. Then, on a Tuesday evening I'll never forget, I was curled up on the couch scrolling through wedding playlists when my phone lit up. It was from him. My stomach dropped before I even opened it. The message read, "All communication must go through my lawyer from now on. The engagement is over. You'll receive the papers soon." No call, no explanation, just cold, final words from the man who once swore he couldn't live without me. I sat there staring at the screen, heart pounding, tears already falling. What I didn't know in that moment was that this text wasn't the end of our story. It was the beginning of a betrayal so deep it would break me, and the secret revenge I would quietly plan that would shock everyone who thought they knew him. That text hit me like a truck. I tried calling him immediately, but it went straight to voicemail. I texted back, voice shaking as I recorded a message asking what was happening. Silence. The next morning, I drove to his apartment, but the doorman said he wasn't accepting visitors. My world started spinning. I spent the next few days barely sleeping, barely eating. Friends came over with tissues and ice cream, but I couldn't explain what I didn't understand. Then, 2 nights later, I remembered his old tablet he had left at my place weeks ago for repairs. I opened it just to charge it, and that's when the truth poured out. Messages, dozens of them, to a woman from his office. Sweet words, late night plans, even photos of them together at the same beach where he proposed to me. He had been seeing her for months, telling her I was too emotional and that the engagement was basically already over. My hands shook as I read how he laughed about my wedding ideas behind my back. The worst part? He had been spending the money we were saving for our honeymoon on weekend getaways with her. I sat on the floor sobbing until my chest hurt. How could the man who held me through my grandmother's funeral do this? How could he look me in the eyes and plan a future while building a secret life? The pain was so heavy I thought it would crush me. I felt betrayed, worthless, and completely alone. I tried one more time to reach him. I drove to his office parking lot and waited. When he finally came out, I stepped forward, voice cracking. "Mark, please, just talk to me." He barely looked at me. "I told you, lawyer only now. Don't make this harder." Then he got in his car and drove away like I was a stranger. That was the moment something inside me shifted. The heartbreak didn't disappear, but it changed shape. Instead of begging or screaming, I went quiet. I stopped posting on social media. I told our friends I needed space. I smiled through family calls and said we were working on things. No one knew I was gathering every screenshot, every receipt, every voice note I could find. I printed them out, organized them in a folder, and kept them hidden in my drawer. I stayed silent because I was planning something bigger. I wasn't going to explode in anger. I was going to let him think he had won. I was going to let him believe I was broken and defeated, but deep down, I was becoming stronger than I had ever been. The woman who once planned centerpieces was now planning the moment the truth would finally hit him harder than any lawyer letter ever could. 3 weeks after that cold text, I sent one last message through his lawyer. It was polite and short. I'd like one final in-person meeting to close everything peacefully. Our families and close friends will be there for support. Saturday at the venue we booked. I knew he'd come. He hated looking bad in front of people. Saturday arrived. The same ballroom we had chosen for our reception was set with soft lights and flowers. Everyone showed up. His parents, my parents, our best friends, even his boss. He walked in wearing the suit I helped him pick for our engagement photos, looking nervous but confident. He thought this was just signing papers and walking away clean. I stood at the front in the simple white dress I had bought for our rehearsal dinner. My voice was calm, steady. Thank you all for coming. I wanted everyone who loved us to hear the truth together. I opened the folder. One by one, I read the messages out loud, not with rage, but with quiet clarity. The secret dates, the lies about working late, the money he spent on her while I was picking our wedding bands. I even played a short voice note where he told her he was done with the engagement drama. The room went completely silent. His mother covered her mouth. My dad stood up, eyes full of shock. His best friend looked away in disgust. Mark's face turned pale. He tried to interrupt, mumbling excuses, but the proof was right there in black and white for everyone to see. No lawyer could spin this away. When I finished, I looked straight at him and said, I loved you with everything I had, but I refuse to let your betrayal define me. I slid the engagement ring off my finger, placed it gently on the table in front of him, and walked out of the room with my head high. No yelling, no tears in public, just peace. Later, I heard the fallout. His family stopped speaking to him for months. Friends distanced themselves. Even his job felt the awkward tension. He tried calling me weeks later, voice breaking, saying he regretted everything and wanted another chance. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Today, I'm standing taller than ever. I kept the venue deposit and turned it into a fresh start for myself, a small trip to the mountains where I finally breathed again. I've started a new chapter, surrounded by people who truly value me. The lesson I learned through all this pain is simple. Betrayal can break your heart, but it can also reveal your strength. The best revenge isn't loud or cruel. Sometimes it's just letting the truth speak for itself, while you quietly become the woman he could never deserve. I walked away with my dignity, my peace, and a heart that's healing. And that, more than anything, is the real happy ending I never saw coming. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever been blindsided by someone you trusted, know this. You are stronger than their lies. You will rise. And when you do, the view from the other side is beautiful.